guys, so I just quickly wanted to get this video out. It's been a while since I've done a video and this has been requested, so it's basically me showing you some of my, what I would call makeup essentials that I think would be a good thing to have in every woman's makeup bag, at least if you're somewhat interested in makeup and you like to play a little bit around, but you don't really know what to get and what to use and so on. So yeah, it's kind of like a quick guide, and from my point of view, what I think is good to have in your makeup bag. I did a video like this, like similar to this, for more younger girls who are just starting out with makeup. So I've already done one of those, but this is more for women of my age and maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older. So yeah, I hope you get some help out of this video. We're going to get started with primers. Primers, I wouldn't say it's not a complete essential if you don't have any problems with your makeup fading during the day, or you don't have any pores you want to minimize or hide. You don't have to use a face primer. You will get a long way with a good moisturizer. Just make sure you are using the right moisturizer for your skin type. But yeah, I just really like to have a face primer in my makeup bag for special occasions where I want my makeup to last longer. But I do think a good eyeshadow primer is a must-have. Usually eyeshadows won't last unless you use one of these. This is from, oh, and the face primer, I'm sorry, this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. Smashbox comes out with lots of different foundation primers for different needs, but when it comes to eyeshadow primers, this one's from Too Faced. It's the cult classic Shadow Insurance. You also have the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but there's lots of good cheaper alternatives like the ones from e.l.f. or Milani. It will make the eyeshadow last a lot longer, it won't crease. When it comes to foundation, I think as long as you get like one foundation that you really love, just make sure it's the right color for you. That's the most important thing. And then figure out what you like. If you want a lightweight foundation or one that gives more coverage, you just have to try out, ask in the store. I personally like a more lightweight foundation, and this will just work all through the year really, but I also kind of like to experiment a little bit with even lighter foundations, more like a BB creams that I use to that I like to use in the summertime when I really want a lightweight makeup, where I really don't want to feel a lot of makeup on my skin. And this is also amazing for that. I can't really feel this foundation once I put it on. It's from Inglot. It's the one that I've been raving about for a long time. It's the EMC foundation. Mine's in LW200, and then there's the Gosh BB cream in Sand. Really, with primer, foundation, and concealer, you can just use your hands when it's lightweight. If it's a foundation with more coverage, I would recommend you to use a brush or a makeup sponge, like a beauty blender or something, to apply it. Next up is concealers. I would get a correcting concealer, something like a peach tone concealer. This is from Inglot, the Freedom System palette. Just to correct any discoloration in your face. Most women have that either under your eyes or somewhere on your face, like you have more redness or blues on your eyes, whatever you have, it's always good to have some kind of corrective concealer. Then also a good under eye concealer that doesn't crease, that just it isn't too dry. I really like these concealers and I would recommend them to anyone. And also just get like a stick concealer for any blemishes or spots that you might have. This one's from NYX Incredible Waterproof Concealer in Porcelain, and I really like it. Since it's waterproof, it just really stays on. Normally most people use some kind of a powder, something like this maybe, to just set your foundation and concealer. I prefer to use a setting spray instead. So like this was from Inglot, this is from Mary Kay. It's a makeup finishing spray. I just like to use it just because it just works better for my dry skin. When I use a powder to set my foundation, it just ends up looking really cakey and just bad. But with a setting spray, I can't really feel it at all, and it makes the makeup stay so much longer. It works for the entire face, not just the face makeup. It works for eyeshadow and everything. So I really will recommend getting either a really good powder or a finishing spray. You can definitely use a finishing spray or makeup setting spray. Even though you have oily skin, just make sure you get a mattifying spray. Next up is contouring, bronzing. I want to mention two products there that are easily confused if you're not really into makeup. One is kind of a contour color or shade, and the other thing is a bronzer. I wouldn't recommend to, how do I say this? I wouldn't recommend to use a shimmery, like chocolatey brown bronzer to contour. That I would use for like warming up your face and make it look a little bit more glowy and like you've been in the sun all day. But you could use a bronzer to contour as long as it performs on your skin as if it was like a shadow, not as if you were tanned, if you know what I mean. So using a more grayish brown shade, like this one from NYX in the color Taupe. This is actually sold as a blush, but I use it for contour. It's perfect for pale skin. If you use something like that, it'll help shape your face a lot better. But if you use like a chocolate brown shimmery bronzer to contour your face, it just looks fake and muddy and weird. When that's said, I would have to say that this is like a perfect description of what I just said. Like, this is a chocolate brown, a little bit shimmery bronzer, but it looks completely different on my skin. It looks so great. I've actually used it today, yes. And it doesn't look muddy or unnatural or fake or anything. And I actually really like to contour with this one. But you just have to try it out. But the main rule is a grayish brown matte color to contour, a chocolatey shimmery brown to warm up your face, and actually use it as a bronzer for, you know, what it was intended to be used for. Going over to blush, really I guess you could just make it with just one blush all year, but I would really recommend to have 3 blush colors. One that is like a summery shade. I just want to show you this Lily Lolo Mineral Blusher in Clementine. This is basically a dupe for Benefit's Coralista, if anyone's familiar with that one. It's like my all-time favorite blush, but this is pretty much the same. So again, this is like a peachy color, coral kind of color, which looks really nice in the summer. So just to have like a summery, everyday kind of blush, and then get something with like a pop of color. This was a mineral blush. This is a cream blush from NYX. It is in the color Glow, and it just works really well if you're going out and you just want like a pop on your cheeks. I think this one's really nice, and it's really nice on more pale skin in the winter just to liven up the face a little bit. And lastly, if you know you're going to do a smoky eye, or you like to use a lot of colors on your eyes, just make sure you have a neutral blush in your collection, because it can be really hard to pair a blush with really strong eyeshadows. So just something like Rimmel Lasting Finish Soft Color Blush in Santa Rose. This is like my perfect neutral blush. Works with everything, and it just looks so great when you're doing a when you're doing a smoky eye. Oh, and if you do just want to get like one blush, something like this, something that looks similar to the NARS Orgasm maybe, because that's it's a cult classic for a reason. It suits so many skin tones, it works for so many people. So kind of like a strong berry pink. I just also want to mention highlighters. I don't think it is an essential, but it is kind of like a natural step in your makeup routine, and it does a lot to your face once you get used to using it, but it's not something you have to have. But if you decide to get a highlighter, just make sure if you're not used to using a highlighter, just get one that isn't too pigmented and too out there, because it's so easy to become like a disco ball. But I have this Makeup Academy Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter. This is like almost like a rose gold kind of tone. It looks beautiful on the skin, and it is very neutral, and it just really works for me, at least, for an everyday highlight. Then let's move on to brows. You can get so many kinds of products for brows. You can get like cream gels, pastes. You can get those kind of tinted brow gels or mascara, wandy kind of products. If you're not really an expert on brows, I'm not an expert on brows, as you can see probably, but I just really like to shape my brows with a brow pencil. This is Isadora brow pencil in light brown. Love this one. It has a spoolio on the other end, and it just works really great. I could just use this one, and I do sometimes if I'm lazy, but it could get a little bit harsh, so just to soften out the look and make it look more natural, I like to use a brow shadow as well. And also, you can just use a brow shadow if you want it to be really natural and just not shape it or anything at all, even though you can shape it with a brow shadow as well, but you know what I mean. But yeah, this one's from Jordana, and they have a whole range of colors. I'm sure you can get the exact one that you want from them, because they have so many to choose from. This one's in light ash brown, the one that I have, and it just works perfect for me. I've had this for over a year, I think, and I've used it almost every single day, but it doesn't look like it at all. They're awesome, and they're like $2. Next up is eyeshadows, and I don't even know where to begin with eyeshadows. There's so much to choose from, but I have chosen two palettes that I just feel like are like must-haves. Like every woman should have them in their collection, I think. And the first one if you're familiar with YouTube and the beauty community, you have seen one of these before, I'm pretty sure. But Urban Decay is not a well-known brand in Norway, so if anyone's wondering what this is the Urban Decay Naked One, the original first palette that came out. They now have, this is like a warm tone metallic kind of range of colors with a few matte ones, and they're just perfect for everyone really. You can make this work for, I think, pretty much anyone. And every time I use this palette, I'm so happy with my makeup look. It just works out really well. The only bad thing about this is that it has so much fallout. So make sure if you're using this makeup palette to do your eye makeup first before you start with your face. So I just think this is a must-have in any makeup bag out there. Just get it. The second palette I want to talk about is, of course, the Inglot Freedom System palettes. These are awesome. You can get them in singles, duos, trios, quads. You can get them with 5, 10, 20, with a mirror, without a mirror. Like, they have this magnety things that I don't really like, but whatever. The thing is, they're cheap, they're good quality, very pigmented, and they have such a huge variety of colors, and you can just make your own palette into whatever you want. And you can get them in like these kinds, and also choose, for instance, 2 eyeshadows, a blush, a powder. There's so many varieties, so I'm sure that you can find something that you like for what you need. But in this one, I've chosen the 10 colors that I feel are my go-to colors, the colors that I like to use on my eyes, and also what makes the blue in my eyes pop a little bit better, what works well. I mean, I love these kinds of metallic colors, this gold one, and I've made sure that I think when you're choosing what kind of eyeshadows you should have in a palette, I think you should include a few like staples, like at least one for your lid, something like these ones, one for your crease. I have 2 right here that are really nice to use in the crease. They should be matte, like middle tone, not too dark, not too light, and neutral is always a good idea. A highlight that is shimmery that you can do in the inner corner of your eyes, one that is like flesh toned, similar to your skin tone, matte color to either use as base or blend or whatever you want. And then lastly, kind of a color that you can deepen your eyeshadow looks with, or use as a liner, or yeah, just a darker color that you like. I've never been a black eyeshadow girl, but this is like a dark matte brown, which is perfect for me and my pale skin. And yeah, so I would really recommend, like, if you're out looking for new eyeshadows, go to Inglot. They have their own website, they have stores, at least here in Norway. I think they have like 4, 5, 6 maybe stores around the country, one in Oslo and maybe 2 in Oslo actually, I'm not sure. But they're easy to get, and they're really worth it. So go get you some. Then for liners, I've chosen 4 different ones that I think are really nice to have in your makeup bag. One is for making that winged liner. The one that I have today is created with this one. It is the Jordana Fabulous liner. I just wanted to show you a felt tip pen like this one because it's just so easy to use when you're an amateur when it comes to those winged liners. And yeah, just one of these are really nice if you're looking for doing a winged liner. A dark brown or a black, but I would prefer a brown because it's more natural and I like natural. But just a darker color that you could use for your tight line, for doing a smoky eye and all that. It's just nice to have a dark brown or black. A flesh toned colored eye pencil. This one's from, oh I'm sorry, this one is from NYX, the Glide On Pencil in Brown Perfection, and this is the Stila Kajal eyeliner in the color Topaz. And this is just perfect to use on your waterline to brighten and open up your eyes and make you look really fresh and healthy. Lastly, just choose like at least one eyeliner that you really like the color of, something like a bright, fun color, or you know, I've chosen a gold one. It's not super bright, but you could do like a purple or a turquoise or whatever you want. Just one that will like change your eyeshadow look completely when you use it. Plus they're really nice for summer, just as a really easy eyeshadow look. Just pop on some bright eyeliner and you're good to go. An eyelash curler is always good to have. By the way, this was from Makeup Store in Gold Digger. This one's from Bobbi Brown. I always have problems with making my eyelashes more curly, and yeah, it just never seems to work, but these are pretty good. Mascaras, at least have one good mascara that you really like, but I would prefer to have 3 different ones. One for like an everyday. I would prefer a brown black, but if you do like black, go for black, whatever suits you. But I like brown black for everyday, and then I have a black for you know, going out and doing a more dramatic eye look, and then just a waterproof one. That way, when you're starting to run out of your everyday mascara, you always have 2 backups that you can rotate on while you go get yourself a new mascara. Then we're on to lip products. I've chosen 4 different ones that I feel like are must-haves. The first thing is a lip liner. I just feel like, yeah, you could do a lot with lip liners, and I think they're awesome to use for an everyday as well, but if you were to choose just one lip liner, I think you should go for a red one. This is the Makeup Store matte waterproof lip liner in Russian, and it is what I have on my lips today. I just really love this lip liner, and I think it's a good idea to have a red lip liner for whenever if you're interested in doing a red lip. I mean, if you're not, then just don't buy it, but you know, I think it's good to have a red lip liner when you're doing a red lip because it will last a lot longer, and when it does fade, it fades more just evenly, if you know what I mean. And if you don't want that matte look, I prefer more of a glossy look. I just put like some kind of a sheer lipstick, a lip gloss, or a chubby stick or something on top. This is just a sheer lipstick from Makeup Store in 104, and this is just perfect on its own for like an everyday. Just get one or 2 like chubby sticks or sheer lipsticks that you really like to pop on an everyday basis, that you don't really need a mirror to apply. Just something that's easy and natural for you, that you know that you will use a lot. And then like a really nice lipstick that isn't gonna sit around in your drawer and not being used, but just one that you know you will use a lot, and that's just like your favorite lipstick, which for me, my all-time favorite lipstick is the Rimmel 180 Vintage Pink Rimmel Moisture Renew. I just love this lipstick. So just go get one that you really like, and then find a lip gloss to pair it with if you like that glossy look. But I have the MUA Intense Kisses and Lips Are Sealed, and this is very similar color to this one, but it's also very nice on its own because it does have lots of pigmentation. Okay, I totally forgot the last makeup brush, which is just typical for me, but I just chose to show you 3 different makeup brushes that I think are must-haves in pretty much every girl's makeup bag. And the first one that I have lost was for applying eyeshadow, and it looks, I mean, you could choose, I was going to show you the e.l.f. blending brush, which is a round, kind of fluffy, but also dense enough to apply the product like in your crease, but fluffy and soft enough to blend it out. So for instance, the lid color, you can use your ring finger. The highlight color, you can use your pinky. And then for crease and blending, you can use that blending eyeshadow brush. A MAC 217 is also perfect. Just some kind of a blending brush like that is really nice to use. And if you press it so it becomes thinner, you can soften out like a line underneath your eyes with some eyeshadow, and it just looks really nice. Also, a brow, like an angled brow brush like this is really nice to use on your brows. You can use it to create a liner on your eyes, and or apply shadow on your outer V and then blend it with that blending brush. So it's just really versatile. Lastly, the face blush, you can apply foundation, concealer, any cream product really, and highlight with your fingers. Your fingers is just your best tool when it comes to makeup, really. But I think this one's from, that one was just a regular one from Max Factor, but just every makeup brand has one of these angled brow brushes. But this one's from Sigma. It's the tapered face brush in F25, and I can't really say enough good things about this one. Like the name says, it's tapered. It comes out to like a point, which makes it really easy to apply and be very precise with applying the product, and then blend it out afterwards. So you can really just, you can use it for powder, for contouring, which is really, I guess it's intended to use as a contour brush, but also for blush and highlight, and just, yeah, it's a multitask brush. I think that's it. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, or if you want me to do like a makeup look using these products, I would love to. Just let me know. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!